And around the courtroom. This is case ICTY 0483T, the prosecutor versus Rasim Delić.
Thank you very much. May we have appearances for today, starting with the prosecution.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon, Your Honors, to my learned colleagues from the defense, General Delić, and everyone in and around the courtroom. Daryl Mundis, Kyle Wood, Aditya Menon, Lori Sartorio, and our case manager, Fraser McElreath, for the prosecution.
Thank you very much. And for the defense?
Dobar dan, časni sude.
Good afternoon, Your Honors. Good afternoon to my colleagues from the prosecution, Zavidovići and Nicholas Robson, on behalf of Mr. Delić, together with our legal assistants. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The trial chamber is sitting today to deliver its judgment in the case of prosecutor versus Rasim Delić. For the purposes of this hearing, I will read out a summary of the trial chamber's findings. I would like to emphasize that this is but a summary and that the only authoritative account of the chamber's findings is the written judgment, which will be made available at the end of this session. The proceedings of this trial commenced on the 9th of July 2007 and concluded on the 11th of June 2008. The trial chamber set 114 trial days and admitted 1,399 exhibits into evidence. It also received evidence from a total of 64 prosecution witnesses and 13 defense witnesses. Rasim Delić is charged with 4 counts of violations of the laws or customs of war pursuant to Article 3 of the Statute of the Tribunal. It is alleged that Rasim Delić, as commander of the main staff of the Army of the Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina, or ABiH for short, incurs individual criminal responsibility under Article 7.3 of the statute for having failed to prevent the crimes alleged in the indictment and or punish the perpetrators thereof. Counts 1 and 2 of the indictment charge Rasim Delić with responsibility for murder and cruel treatment in relation to 3 separate incidents. 1, what is called the Maline Bikoshi in June of 1993. 2, Livade and the Kamenica Camp in July and August of 1995. And 3, Custom and the Kamenica Camp in September 1995. The first incident concerns the killing of approximately 24 captured Bosnian Croat civilians and soldiers of the Croatian Defense Council, called HVO, by foreign Muslim fighters who are known as Mujahedin. In the same indictment, at least another 6 Bosnian Croat individuals were allegedly injured by gunshot wounds. The crimes allegedly took place in June 1993 in the village of Bikoshi, located in the Travnik municipality in central Bosnia. The second incident concerns the killing of 3 captured soldiers of the Army of the Republika Srpska, called VRS, and the cruel treatment of VRS captives in July and August 1995 at the hands of the Mujahedin from the so-called El Mujahed Detachment, or EMD for short, which the prosecution contends were incorporated in the ABiH. The crimes are alleged to have been committed in the village of Livade in the municipality of Zavidovići and in a camp run by the EMD in the Gostović Valley in the vicinity of Zavidovići. This camp was also known as the Kamenica Camp. The alleged perpetrators of these crimes are members of the EMD. The third incident allegedly took place in September 1995. It concerns the killing of 2 VRS soldiers nearby the village of Kesten in the municipality of Zavidovići, as well as the cruel treatment and the killing of approximately 52 VRS captured soldiers, the killing of an elderly Serb man, and the cruel treatment of 10 VRS captured soldiers in the Kamenica Camp. Again, the alleged perpetrators were soldiers of the EMD. Under counts 3 and 4, Rasim Delić is charged with individual criminal responsibility for the crimes of rape and cruel treatment. Those crimes allegedly took place in September 1995 and involved 3 Bosnian women who were detained at the Kamenica Camp. In its judgment of acquittal of 26 February 2008, the trial chamber held that Rasim Delić had no case to answer in respect of the rape under count 3. Thus, in relation to the events involving the 3 women, Rasim Delić remains only charged with cruel treatment under count 4. The trial chamber will now give a brief summary of the background to the events relevant to this case. The events alleged in the indictment took place against the background of the breakup of the former Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. In April 1992, an armed conflict broke out in Bosnia and Herzegovina between Serb forces and forces of the Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina. In the summer of 1992, the first foreign mujahideen arrived in the areas of Travnik and Zenica in central Bosnia, mainly with the view to supporting the military struggle against the Bosnian Muslims' adversaries. They settled in various locations without forming a homogeneous entity. A number of different groups comprising foreign and/or Bosnian mujahideen were active in central Bosnia between 1993 and 1995. In particular, as of late 1992 or early 1993, a group of foreign mujahideen established a camp in a location called Poljanice, a few hundred meters from the village of Mehurići in the Travnik municipality. Notwithstanding instances of participation in combat alongside each other, it appears that the different groups of mujahideen were anxious to maintain their distinct identities. The presence of foreign fighters in central Bosnia and their participation in the war effort did not go unnoticed by the ABiH Third Corps and the ABiH main staff in Sarajevo. According to a report from mid-1993, those foreigners displayed, quote, conduct that was not befitting that of members of the Army of Bosnia and Herzegovina, unquote. On the 18th of June 1993, the issue of quote, soldiers from foreign countries, unquote, was discussed at a meeting within the ABiH main staff. The attendants of the meeting proposed to Rasim Delić, who had been appointed commander of the main staff on the 8th of June 1993, that those, quote, foreign citizens, unquote, should either be sent back to where they came from or organized into a unit within the ABiH. On the 23rd of July 1993, Rasim Delić issued a written authorization to Sakip Mahmulen, then a member of the Third Corps Command, to enter into negotiations with representatives of the, quote, Mujahideen unit from Zenica, unquote, on the issues of 1, including the Mujahideen in the ABiH. 2, their use, quote, in joint struggle against the Chetniks, unquote. And 3, the manner of their subordination to the Third Corps Command. On the 12th of August 1993, the commander of the Third Corps, Enver Haji Hasanović, submitted a written proposal to the main staff in Sarajevo, which provided for the organization of all foreign volunteers in the Third Corps area of responsibility into a detachment within the ABiH. On the following day, the 13th of August 1993, Rasim Delić signed an order authorizing the formation of a detachment named Al Mujahideen. Following its establishment, the AMD significantly grew in size, and by 1995, it comprised approximately 1,000 fighters. Throughout 1993, the ABiH fought on several fronts against both the VRS and the HVO. As a result, central Bosnia remained effectively isolated from the outside world, with serious humanitarian consequences for the local civilian population.